Hi, my name is Dan Pontefract. I'm the author of The Purpose Effect, and today in this low-tech talk, I'm going to be discussing something that I call organizational purpose. Now, the book itself revolves around three types of purpose. First, personal purpose. That's the who are we, what are we about, and how are we going to show up each and every day at work and in life with a personal purpose. The second one is role purpose. That's when we go to work and we're in a role. Will we occupy one of three mindsets? Either the job mindset, where it's like a paycheck, we're just punching in, punching out. A career mindset, where we're only there to climb the ladder and create more power and chaos. Or a purpose mindset, where we're fully engaged and we're delivering on our own purpose at work and in life. Now, organizational purpose for me revolves around something that I call the good deeds. We'll get to the good deeds in a second, but let's look at it from two different lenses. First of all, Unilever. In 2009, it brought in a new CEO, Paul Pullman. On essentially his first day, he went to the street and he said to the analysts, "No more guidance." Now, after years of providing guidance, the street sort of reacted, "Not so great." They said, "Mr. Pullman, we've always been given guidance. Why aren't you giving us guidance?" And he says, "We're not going to operate our company that way anymore." And ever since that declaration, Unilever has been doing phenomenal things by balancing a newly defined purpose that, in fact, balances the planet, its people, our people, and profit. And if you take a look at things like their Sustainable Living Index and all the good things they've done to better society, Unilever and what Paul Pullman has done from a leadership perspective is almost second to none. Now, on the flip side, you might be familiar with the story of the car manufacturer Volkswagen. Turns out that several of its leaders and many of its employees were essentially rigging emissions tests such that they would pass, although in fact they were failing. And so when word got out, particularly in the US, that these tests were being flawed and were fraudulent, well, a lot of bad things started to happen. In fact, sales have dramatically gone down in Volkswagen cars, and in Germany, where there are many towns that are supported by the Volkswagen auto industry in and of itself, we're seeing lots of job losses. So did Volkswagen define a higher purpose to balance people, planet, and profit, or did it just go for profit as the means to an end? These are two different stories, Unilever and Volkswagen, but each of these organizations had a choice. Were they going to deliver good deeds or bad deeds? And speaking of those good deeds, what does it exactly mean? Well, DEEDS is an acronym, and this is what I'd like to see many organizations employ going forward. The first D, delight your customers. In essence, put your customers first. Don't put profit first. As Peter Drucker essentially used to say, as I'm paraphrasing, the purpose of business is to keep a customer. The E is to have engaged employees. Make sure that all the things that you're doing inside the organization elevates the level of engagement such that there are more people finding a role purpose inside of the organization. Thirdly, be ethical in all things that you do as an organization. I need not mention again the example that happened at Volkswagen. The second D of deeds is deliver value. And that value comes in fair practices. So in the organization, what I'd like to see is things like performance management annual reviews being taken away. Nobody likes those things. Delivering value through fair practices is ensuring that the types of programs you have in your organization are for all. And lastly, the S in deeds, well, it's not serve shareholders, it's serve all stakeholders. And those stakeholders are your customers, your employees, your society, the environment, and obviously, if the case warrants, shareholders and owners. But there are far too many organizations in for-profit modes that are only fixated on shareholders and owners, and thus profit becomes the modus operandi of how they're operating. So in summary, I'd like to see far more organizations define its organizational purpose with a higher purpose, with what I call the good deeds. And if they do so, we'll have a heck of a lot more organizations like Unilever, and we'll have a heck of a lot more organizations with highly engaged employees who in fact are serving all stakeholders that benefit our society. Thanks for watching this low-tech video. More information at this website. I hope you have a great day.